friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Arelees and I love baking treats and cooking up eats. Today I'll be making for you some ackee and saltfish patty. Now let's get cooking. So friends, for your patty dough, I have here 2.5 cups of flour. I'll be using a cup of margarine. I'm using margarine. I'm going to be using a cup of buttermilk, a tablespoon of curry, a tablespoon of ground turmeric, tablespoon of baking powder. I have my trusty rolling pin, and you're going to need a cutter for the patties. All right, here we go. I'm going to add about 1/2 teaspoon of salt, so I've already added my curry, that's a tablespoon of curry and a tablespoon of turmeric and a tablespoon of baking powder. So I'm adding my cup of butter, and I'm going to use a fork to combine the butter with the flour and the rest of the ingredients. Getting my hands in there. So now I'm going to be adding the buttermilk to the flour and the rest of the ingredients. I'm going to mix it as if I'm making dumpling. And at any time, if you're mixing, adding the milk to the flour mixture and you find it is too soft, you can always go back and rectify it by sprinkling some flour. And this is about right. So I'm going to be covering this with some saran wrap and place in the fridge for about half an hour or so. So now to do the ackee and saltfish. And I'm going to be cooking it in its own brine also. I'm not going to throw the brine off. I'll be cooking it in its own brine. I have my onion, my pepper, red and green bell pepper. I have some scallion and my garlic. So these I have already washed. So I'm just going to chop everything. And you know what? I'm not going to chop them small because I think I'll be blending them out so we don't have these big chunks in the patty. Friends, so I have already pre-cooked the saltfish. So now I'm just going to make sure there's no bones in the fish. So I'm breaking it small to make sure all the bones are out of it. Friends, I have my pot on the stove and I just blend out the onion, scallion, the bell peppers and the garlic in a bit of olive oil. So I didn't add any oil to the pot because we don't want to have too much oil in our patties. Yeah, I'm gonna tip a little oil in there. Just about a teaspoon. Friends, I'm adding a little bit of Scotch bonnet pepper, not a lot because the grandkids will be eating the patties. But I'll be also adding some black pepper to it. So now I'll be adding my saltfish. So I'm just adding some dried thyme. I have some paprika, black pepper, some garlic powder. I'm adding a little bit of meat seasoning, some all-purpose seasoning, and I have some pimento seed, which is allspice. So I'll be adding some of that also. And now for your ackee, I'm adding the ackee. No oil, because you don't want the oil to be oozing out of your patty. So friends, now I'm flouring my board for the dough. Now we need a lot of flour. I'm going to cut this in two and do half at a time. So I'm going to put in back this half in the fridge, and I'll be rolling out this portion. So now I am grating the butter on the dough. We're doing some lard. So I'm just adding flour. I'm going to fold it again. Now that the patties are out of the oven, I already cut into one, and I'm just going to show that to you. Ackee and Saltfish Patties. So these are the finished Ackee and Saltfish Patties. Thank you all for who have already subscribed. Continue to do so. Continue to leave your comments, like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.